autumn flower bomb time. So let's get straight into it, shall we? I'm going to remove the little bit at the top. I've got a dust spot over there. It's really annoying. Let's move these bits. Okay, so basic cleanup kind of done. I want an orangey feel. I want this to be very monochromatic color grading. It all kind of fits within one, probably a little bit more complementary because I'm going to have oranges and yellows, so it's going to be a bit of both. But that's what I want. I want this kind of orange, vibrant, but still kind of drained color, muted tones color. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and remove the odd hair. Whenever you've got a wind machine, the odd hair is always incredibly disobedient and it's just incredibly annoying. So let's drag these odd hairs out. And then I'm going to apply my skin edit filter, which is a mix of high pass and surface blur. You can see that in most of my other videos. So I feel like I'm going over that every single time I do an edit, and you guys are probably getting bored of it. Tell me if you're not. But you can find my skin edit quite easily. So let's pull this across, do my little skin edit on here. Now I'm deliberately leaving my skin sort of layer a little bit more soft than I would usually leave it. But that's partly because with this image and these sort of images, I want there to be a glow to the image as well. So, okay, I'm loving that. I'm going to add a little bit of contour. Get soft light. So you can see where we've got the top down here. We can see the top through the material. So I'm going to just sort of darken around the skin area over here because I don't want to draw attention to the bits of material and the top. It's whenever I'm doing stuff like this, I want it to be quite natural feel to the image. So I try to draw attention away from anything that's overly man-made or looks overly man-made. So let's tone these bits down up here and just pull that in there. Okay, so I'm just going to enhance the contour on the face. Now, the face was quite contoured in the original. In Lightroom, I've done a little bit of processing and I've actually flattened the levels out a little bit because what I wanted to do was come back in here and add them exactly where I wanted them. And I wanted to enhance the cheekbone and come in there. And then I'm going to tone that down because I do not want everything to be as intense as I just drew it. I'm going to tone that right down to there. So it's just a 50% grey layer. Perfect. Okay, so there's a few things that are bugging me. This bit over here is a bit too bright, so I'm going to actually just content aware that off because I'm fine with this bit. This bit up here is too bright, so I'm going to tone that down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Control, Shift, and N and just add a completely blank layer. Grab my brush and I'll hit a light orange. Let's go for the lightest I can get and literally draw over it. And then I'm going to change the layer setting to darken or multiply, depends on what you're doing. Multiply would work in this instance. Multiply won't work for everything. And because it's on darken, I can then tone that down here and it's kept the texture underneath. Do you know what? I'm going to go back on multiply because that actually worked quite well and it added a bit of a tint. And I can then draw a tiny bit in to some of these other bits that I want to bring into the orange. It's so nice when you go doing something and you find another way of doing it kind of accidentally as you go along. Love that. That's working really well. Okay, so I love that. I think that's working as that hair is annoying from here. These bits, I'm going to tone these down a tiny bit. Just little bits. There we go. Okay, I am liking that. I think that's looking really, really nice. I think I want to add a bit of a texture. I think I need a bit of a texture in the background to give it a bit something. So I'm going to go, I've got background layer somewhere. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's have a look. Backgrounds. Now I think we need a fine arty kind of texture here. Rust would work. Floral would work, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to go with my good old classic. This one is one of my favourites. So let's have a look at this. Well, that's creepy. So I'm going to drag it on, stretch it over, and I'm going to change the setting to soft light. And then using a mask, I'm going to invert it so it's vanished, less creepy. And then I'm just going to paint it in very loosely, just around these areas on here. Because I've got flowers and because it's an old-fashioned sort of style, overlapping the actual image isn't really an issue. See how it kind of blends quite, not when I click that, it kind of blends quite naturally around those edges with the overlap. It doesn't really, you don't need to sit and mask for ages. Yeah, I love that. I think that's looking really nice. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is add a bit of a overall vignette. So I'm going to go on a gradient. Whoa, it's kind of cool actually. Don't hate that. Not what we're trying to do. Gradient, reverse, and come in. Let's get my scale right. Perfect. I love that. That's brilliant. So all I was trying to do with the vignette, I wasn't trying to darken the edges. I wanted to tint the edges. So it actually gave me the color that was already on my brush. So that's why the color worked so well, and I didn't have to go and select a color. I've changed the style to radial, so it gives me a circle. And I've just played with the scale to get it exactly where I want it. And that has added kind of what I want. That's actually got a really nice painterly kind of feel. Gives it the edges a slight worn kind of effect. So I love it. So that's my autumnal fine art painterly image edit. Hope that's been helpful. And it's been really great with you guys commenting and getting involved. So I can't wait to see you on the next one.